viewers, welcome to my channel Ankur's coaching class. Today I shall start one of the most important topic of English grammar, that is the voice change. Okay, there are two forms of voice. One is the active voice and another one is the passive voice. I will discuss it with you all with the help of examples. Okay. First one is the active voice and second one is the passive voice. Okay. Now I shall write one simple sentence in order to show the active and passive voice. I will write one simple sentence of active voice and I will convert that sentence into passive voice. Okay. I write a letter. This is a simple sentence with subject plus the verb and the object. I write a letter. This is the sentence in active voice. Okay. The formation is like that: subject plus verb plus object. Now I'll convert this active voice into passive voice. See, the first rule, always remember the first rule. The subject in the active voice will be converted into object in the passive voice. This subject will be converted to object in the passive voice, preceded by a preposition. What will be that preposition? It may be at, it may be by, it may be with, etc. Okay. First point, rule. Just write down, okay. First rule is the subject in active voice will be changed to object preceded by a preposition. This is the first rule. Second rule, the object in the active voice will be converted into subject in the passive voice. Second rule. Okay. First rule is what? The subject in the active voice will be converted into object in the passive voice preceded by a preposition. Then our second rule is what? The object in the active voice will be converted into subject in the passive voice. I will change this active voice into passive voice. Just observe here. I will first take the object of the active voice and I will make it as subject in the passive voice. This is our second rule. See, a letter. I write a letter. A letter is written by me. The subject in the active voice becomes the object here. Okay, and preceded by a preposition by. It is the preposition. Okay, our first rule is satisfied. Now the second rule, the object in the active voice is converted into subject in the passive voice. Subject plus, it is the be verb. Okay, this is the past participle form of the verb. Past participle. Form of the verb. Plus the preposition plus the object. Just observe once again. I write a letter. A letter is written by me. The subject in the active voice is converted into object preceded by a preposition by here. It might change depending on the sentence. Okay. Now, the object in the active voice is changed to subject in the passive voice. And the formation is like that: subject plus be verb plus the past participle form of the verb. Here the verb is write, so I have written this the past participle form. Okay, then the preposition and then the object. This is the conversion of a active voice into passive voice. See, we will convert these sentences. These are the examples, okay? We will change this to passive voice. These are the active voice with subject, verb and the object. Now I have told you the two rules. Okay, first rule, the subject in the active voice will be converted into object in the passive voice preceded by a preposition. This is the first rule. Second rule, the object in the active voice will become the subject. The object in the active voice, will become the subject here. Rice. Raju eats rice. Okay. So what will be the conversion? Rice. Then be verb will come. Okay. In passive voice, do you remember the form? Subject plus be verb plus the past participle form of the verb plus the preposition plus the object. So this subject, this object in active voice will become the subject here. Okay, rice is be verb eaten by Raju. See, Raju eats rice. Rice is eaten by Raju. This is the object has changed to subject here, plus the be verb, plus the past participle form of the verb eat, plus the preposition, plus the subject in the active voice has become the object here. This is correct? Yeah. Now Raju ate rice. This is the past. Okay. So rice was. Instead of is, we will write was, because this is in past tense. Okay, rice was eaten by Raju. Okay, second one is over. Third example, Raju will eat rice. Similar pattern. Rice will be eaten by Raju. See, always you observe the first and second rule is the main thing, okay, for conversion of active into passive. The subject will be converted into object here, and the object in active voice will be converted as subject in passive voice. Raju eats rice. Rice is eaten by Raju. Okay. Raju ate rice. This is the past tense, okay. So rice was eaten by Raju. Raju will eat rice. Rice will be eaten by Raju. Is it clear, the examples? Now the third one, okay, the third rule for changing active voice into passive voice. See, in continuous tense, the word being is used between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. The being is used between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. Okay, I am giving one example. I am reading a book. This is in active voice. Okay, now I will make this sentence into passive. I am reading a book. This is quite different type of sentence. Okay, you see, earlier what examples I gave you, that was different. Okay, that was in either simple past or simple present or simple future. Now this is a continuous tense. This is present continuous. Okay, this is a present continuous tense. Now in continuous tense, whether it might be present or past, the word being is used between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. So in case of present continuous tense, we will use the be verb as in the present form. Okay, but in past tense we'll use the past form. Okay, I am reading a book. Now our rule 1 and rule 2 will come here. Okay, a book is be verb. A book is, then being will come. Being, a book is being read by me. Read by me. The subject in the active voice becomes the object preceded by the preposition. I am reading a book. A book is being read by me. See the formation. This is the subject. The object in the active voice becomes the subject here, plus be verb plus the word being plus the past participle form of the verb, past participle. See, the being will be used in between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. In continuous tense, the word being is used between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. I am reading a book. A book is being read by me. Okay, is it clear? See the fourth one. The fourth rule for changing active voice into passive voice. In the perfect tense, whether it might be present, past or future, the word being is used before the past participle. I'll give you one example, okay? I have read the book. I have read the book. This is an active voice. I am writing here A. Okay? I have read the book. This is a perfect tense. Okay? This is the present perfect. Okay. Now I will convert this present perfect that is in active voice. I'll convert it into passive voice. Now our object in active voice will become the subject in passive voice. The book. The book. So has will come. When I wrote I, then have will come. Okay. When I am writing the book, has will come. Okay. The book has been read by me. This is the passive voice. I have converted the active voice into passive voice. How? The object in the active voice is converted into subject in the passive voice. Then, depending on the form, whether it is first person, whether it is second person, third person, has or have will come. The book has. Okay. Then been. In the past perfect tense, the word been is used before the past participle form. Before the past participle form, we will use the been. The book has been read, past participle form, by me. This is the formation. Subject plus has or have, depending on the persons. Okay. Depending on the person, plus the word been will come before the past participle form. Then the preposition and then the object. This is the fourth rule for changing the active voice into passive voice. Our fifth rule, okay, for converting active voice into passive voice. What is our fifth rule? Just observe it. passive voice with two objects in the active voice. There will be two objects in the active voice. Is performed by changing either of the two objects into the subject and retaining the other as the object. Means there will be two objects in the active voice. We'll keep one fixed and other one will make as subject. And again we can do in another way. We can make the other one fixed and we can use that as subject. I'll give you one example, it will be very clear, okay? Mr. Bora teaches us English. This sentence is in active voice. I am writing here A. Mr. Bora teaches us English. This is the subject. This is the verb. And these two are objects. Okay. Here you see with two objects in the active voice. Two objects. We'll use one object as subject. We'll make one object as subject. And we'll remain the other one. And the other one will remain as object. At first, I can write in two ways. Okay. By keeping this object fixed. And this object I will convert it into subject. And again in another way, I will keep this one fixed. I will retain this one as object only and I will use this one as subject. I will show you in two different ways, okay? I will use the first one. Mr. Bora teaches us English. I will use this one. We are taught English by Mr. Bora. This is a passive voice. Passive. We are taught English by Mr. Bora. Mr. Bora teaches us English. We are taught English by Mr. Bora. See, I have used we here. I make this one as subject. And again, I can use this one as subject. See, observe here. English is taught to us. To is optional, okay? I prefer always writing to here. But somebody might not use, then it will not be wrong, okay? If you don't use to here, then the sentence will not be wrong. English is taught us or taught to us by Mr. Bora. Two sentences. See, passive voice with two objects in the active voice. Two objects in the active voice is performed by changing either of the two objects into the subject and retaining the other as object. I have used here we in the first sentence as subject and I have retained English as object. Okay. And in the next sentence I have used English as subject. Okay. And I have the us will remain similarly written as it is. We are taught English by Mr. Bora. English is taught to us by Mr. Bora. To is optional. You can write or if you don't write also it will not be wrong. Okay. English is taught to us by Mr. Bora or English is taught us by Mr. Bora. This is the fifth rule. Okay. Sixth one. Okay. Sixth rule for converting active voice into passive voice. An imperative sentence is changed into passive voice with the help of have, with the help of get, with the help of let, etc. Okay. Now I will give you some examples using let, have and get. Okay. Now first example I will tell you. This one is active and this one is passive. Okay. See, first sentence I'll tell you an imperative sentence. Call in a doctor. Call in a doctor. Call in a doctor. How we'll change this one, okay? In active voice, in passive voice. Call in a doctor. We will always use in this type of sentence let. Let a doctor be called in. Called in. See, I'll tell you. Call in a doctor. Let a doctor be called in. Always use the let here, then the object, okay, then be will come. This is not the be verb, be will come, then the past participle form of the verb, then the remaining part of the sentence. Call in a doctor. Let a doctor be called in. Second example, shut the door. Shut the door. It will be, let will come, let the door be shut. See, let will come, then the object, okay, object here, plus be will come, plus the past participle form of the verb, plus the remaining part of the sentence if exists, okay. Shut the door, let the door be shut. I told you using let. Now have. Put up a tent. Put up a tent. Put up a tent. Don't use let here. If this type of sentence come in your exam, na, then use have instead of let. Put up a tent. Have a tent. Have a tent. Have a tent. Have a tent, the object. Have a tent. Put up. Don't use the be here. Have a tent. Put up. Okay. Now using get. Mend your manners. Mend your manners. Mend your manners. Use get here. Get your manners mended. Don't use the be here. Mend your manners. Get your manners mended. When mend and other type of words will be there, then use get. When the imperative sentence will be call in a doctor, shut the door. If it is a type of order or command or request, then use this type. Okay, let. Use the let. Put up a tent. Have a tent put up. If put is there, then you use the word have. Mend your manners. Get your manners mended. Use this. Okay. An imperative sentence is changed into passive voice with the help of let, have, get, etc. In other sentence, we might use circumstances. This type of words will also come. Okay. Call in a doctor. Let a doctor be called in. Shut the door. Let the door be shut. Put up a tent. Have a tent put up. Don't use be while using have. Okay. Mend your manners. Get your manners mended. Don't use be here when you write get. Okay. Now the seventh rule for converting active voice into passive voice. To turn an interrogative sentence into passive voice, we will follow these three rules. Okay. First, turn the interrogative sentence into turn it into a statement or assertive sentence. Then change the voice of that sentence, assertive sentence. Then again convert it into interrogative sentence. To turn an interrogative sentence into passive voice, the following rules or tricks are applied. Okay. First, turn the sentence, interrogative sentence, into statement or assertive sentence. Then change the voice of that sentence. Then again turn it into interrogative sentence. I'll give you one example. Okay. It will be clear. I'll give you one example. Does he write a letter? It is applicable with in interrogative sentence. Okay, that will start with the does, did, is, are. Okay, I'll tell you if it is a sentence starts with who, what, why, how. I'll tell you the change of voice in that pattern. First, observe this sentence. This is an interrogative sentence. Does he write a letter? I will turn this sentence, interrogative sentence, into an assertive sentence or statement. Okay. Does he write a letter? I will simply write he writes a letter. This is a statement or assertive sentence. Statement. Okay. He writes a letter. Now I will convert the second rule. I will convert second rule of 7. Okay. I will convert the statement into, I will change the voice of the statement. This is an active voice. I will make it as passive. You see the second, the first method. Okay. First rule of 7. Then comes the second rule or second trick. I will convert rule or trick. Okay. I will convert this active sentence or statement, active statement, into passive. He writes a letter. A letter is written by him. Change of voice. Change of voice. Change of voice. Now our third trick or third rule, the final one, I will get the answer here. Does he write a letter? I will get the answer here only. Okay, this will be the answer. A letter is written by him. Change of voice done. Now I will convert this sentence into interrogative sentence. Is a letter written by him. This was our active voice. I have changed finally to the passive one, but we have followed certain method. First one, the interrogative sentence in the active voice was changed to statement. Does he write a letter? He writes a letter. This was the statement. Then the statement will be converted. Okay, this active voice will be converted into passive voice. A letter is written by him. Okay, up to this much clear. Then I will make this one statement into an interrogative sentence. Is a letter written by him? This is our final answer. What will be the answer of does he write a letter? Is a letter written by him? This is active voice and this will be the passive one. But this is the method how to change it. I know with the help of one example it will not be clear. Okay, I will give you one more example. I thought of proceeding to another 8 number rule, but instead of going to 8 number, I will give you one more sentence. Okay. Do you see the moon? One more example, I am doing it for you all. Okay. Do you see the moon? Our first trick or first rule. Okay, first rule or first trick, whatever you say. I'll make this interrogative sentence into a statement or assertive sentence. I'll write simply, you see the moon. You see the moon. Okay. Our second trick or second rule, I will convert this active voice into passive voice. The moon is seen by you. I have changed the voice. Now I will go for the interrogative sentence. Okay, I will convert this sentence into interrogative sentence. Third trick of third rule. Is the moon seen by you? See, this is our active voice, these are our processes in order to get the answer. This is our final ultimate answer. Do you see the moon? Is the moon seen by you? This will be our answer. But how we got it? We have changed the first interrogative into assertive or statement. Then again we have changed the active form of the statement into the passive voice. Okay, then ultimately I have got this one. The moon is seen by you. Is the moon seen by you? Is the moon seen by you? Our ultimate answer is this one of this. Okay, do you see the moon? Our answer will be, is the moon seen by you? Okay, is it clear now? Now we have studied the interrogative sentence starting with do, did, is, are. Now what will happen to the passive voice if it starts with who at first? Okay, I am telling you with who. Suppose example in interrogative only, 7th rule. Okay, who broke the glass? Who broke the glass? If the question starts with who, then I will always convert the who to by whom. By whom? Who broke the glass? It is in past tense. Okay. By whom was the glass? Was the glass broken? Question mark will come here. See, if the interrogative sentence starts with who, then I will always use by whom in passive voice. This is active voice and this is passive voice. I will always use by whom instead of who. By whom was the, depending on the verb, whether it is in past tense, present tense or future tense, I will use the be verb here. Okay. Who broke the glass? By whom was the glass broken? Again, who said this? Who said this? By whom was this said? Okay, have you got it? Whenever who will be present in active voice, then by it will be converted to by whom in passive voice. By whom was this said? Who said this? By whom was this said? It is in past, so I am using the be verb as past here. Okay, this is our example with whom. Now I will tell you with why and how. I told you by using who. Okay, whenever who will be there in active voice, then it will be converted to by whom. Now in case of why and in case of how, see the example. Why did he beat the boy? I will write it as, it is in active voice and it is also in active voice. The second sentence using how. How did you go? How did you do the puzzle? Okay, how did you do the puzzle? This is in active voice. Okay, and this also in active voice. Why did he beat the boy? I will write it as why was the boy, did is there, so I will use was past. Why was the boy? Why was the boy beaten by him? Question mark will come. Why is there? See, if don't change the why to other form. Okay, by whom? only who will be converted to by whom, but why will remain as it is. Use the same word, why. Why did he beat the boy? Why was the boy beaten by him? Okay, I mentioned again and again, I am writing here was because this is in past tense. If it would have been in present tense, I would have used present tense. Okay, how did you do the puzzle? How did you do the puzzle? How will remain how only in case of passive voice. How, this one is passive. Okay, how did you do the puzzle? How was the puzzle? Similarly, did is there, so was will come. How was the puzzle? Done by you. See, how did you do the puzzle? How in active voice it will, how is there? So I will write how in passive voice also. How was the puzzle? Done by you. Is it clear? See the 8th one. Okay, 8th number rule. Objects cannot be used as subject in passive voice. There are some certain sentences, okay, in active voice where the object in that sentence you cannot use as subject in the passive voice. Example I will give you. He hurt himself. See this sentence. He hurt himself. Subject, verb, then it is the object here. Okay. If I turn this active voice into passive voice, how I can write? He was hurt by himself. See, the object will never become as subject here in passive voice. The objects cannot be used as subject in passive voice. There are some certain sentences. He hurt himself. Next example, he shot himself. He shot himself. Okay, I can write it as he was shot by himself. I cannot use these object as subject in passive voice. Okay. So remember this type of sentences. He hurt himself. He was hurt by himself. Write in this way in passive voice. This is the active voice. He shot himself. He was shot by himself. Okay. There are certain sentences where you cannot use the object as subject in passive voice. Is it clear? Our 9th one, okay. Quasi-passive verbs. There are some verbs in English language which are active in form but passive in sense. Okay. Example, these are known as quasi-passive verbs. Examples: the rose smells nice. How I will change the voice? See, the rose is nice when it is smelled. Just observe here. This sentence I have changed the voice. Okay, the rose smells nice. The rose is nice when it is smelled. One more example I am giving you. Honey tastes sweet. Our answer will be honey is sweet when it is tasted. When it is tasted. See, the rose smells nice. The rose is nice when it is smelled. Honey tastes sweet. Honey is sweet when it is tasted. Okay, one more example I will give you. The book is printing. See, this is continuous. Okay, I will use the word being. The book is being printed. Just observe here. In this type of sentences, okay, there are some verbs in English language which are active in form but passive in change. In this type of sentence, just convert this type of sentence into other form of the voice in this way. The rose smells nice. The rose is nice when it is smelled. Honey tastes sweet. Honey is sweet when it is tasted. The book is printing. How to write this? All these things. You will not get the object here. So the book is being printed. When continuous tense will be there, use the word being. Okay, between the be verb and the past participle form of the verb. Our voice active and passive is over. I'll give you certain examples. Okay, I'll solve some examples in order to clarify it more. Okay, these are the rules you have to go through in order to do the conversion of the voice change. I'll solve some questions that might be in active voice or that might be in passive voice. I'll convert the active voice into passive voice and passive voice into active voice. Okay, let us do all these questions here. Okay, first question, one should do one's duty. Okay, I'll write it as duty. Object will become subject here. Duty should be done. One should do one's duty. Our answer will be duty should be done. Second one, a tree is known by its fruit. A tree is known, it is not given in the question, it is omitted here, to us suppose, or to people. We know a tree is known to us by its fruits. If it is not written also, I will assume it as to us. Okay, so I will write it as we know a tree. We know a tree by its fruits. A tree is known to us is not given here, it is omitted in the question. Okay, a tree is known by its fruits. So I will write it as we know a tree by its fruits. Instead of we can write people also, or everyone. Everyone knows, everybody knows a tree. A tree is known by its fruits. But a tree is known always in maximum time we will take it as we instead of people, or everyone or everyone. Next, the third one, his behavior surprised us. This is in past tense. Okay, his behavior surprised us. I gave this question because here the preposition will change. It will not be by or with. Okay, his behavior surprised us. I'll write it as we were surprised at his behavior. The preposition at will come here. Okay, at his behavior. His behavior surprised us. This is past. This one is the object here. I will make this as subject. We were, because this is past tense, we were surprised at his behavior, not by his behavior. The preposition at will come here. Okay. Third one is over. I was compelled to go. What compelled me to go? What compelled me to resign? Okay, a job. Circumstances compel me to resign a job, or some circumstances compel me to do this thing. So I'll start the sentence with circumstances. Okay. Circumstances compel me to go. Compel me to go. I was compelled to go. I'll write it as circumstances compel me to go. Or fourth one. Fifth one, you see, Rome was not built in a day. Who built that Rome? Rome was not built in a day. I'll write the subject as Romans. The people, those who stay in Rome, are known as Romans. Okay, I'll write Romans did not, because past tense, I'll write did, okay? Did not build, it will be build Rome in a day. See, observe here, Rome was not built in a day. Who built that Rome? People of Rome? I'll write it Romans. Romans did not build Rome in a day. Or sixth one, see, what is done cannot be undone. What is done cannot be undone. I'll write it as you cannot undo what you do. What is done cannot be undone. I'll change the voice as, I'll use the you, a subject. You cannot undo what you do. See, I'll tell you once again, one should do one's duty. It will be duty should be done. A tree is known by its fruits. We know a tree by its fruits. His behavior surprised us. I give this one because of this preposition. We were surprised at his behavior. Okay. I was compelled to go. The change of voice will be circumstances compel me to go. Rome was not built in a day. Romans did not build Rome in a day. What is done cannot be undone. You cannot undo what you do. In this way, the conversion of voice takes place. You can change the active into passive and passive into active. These are just 6 examples, okay? You just practice more and more, then it will be very clear. These are tough ones. Otherwise in exams you might get easy also, but these are the tough one. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Viewers, please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for further updates.